Our generation will be known for nothing. Never will anybody say we were the peak of mankind. That is wrong. The truth is, our generation was a failure. Thinking that we actually succeeded is a waste, and we know. Living only for money and power is the way to go. Being loving, respectful, and kind is a dumb thing to do. Forgetting about that time. We will not be easy, but we will try. Changing our world for the better is something we never did. Giving up was how we will handle our problems. Working hard is a joke. We know that. People thought that we couldn't come back. That might be true. Unless we turn things around. I was born on Sanford Street. Sanford Street was a pretty good neighborhood when I was born. Now you go there, it's boarded houses. There's more boarded houses than there are houses that have people living in them.
We have a failing infrastructure. Our streets and our buildings are falling apart. A lot of the city properties have been neglected. A lot of properties have been abandoned.
And because of that, you got gang activities, you got drugs, you got other things going on. Don't get me wrong, there have been little gangs in Trenton for a long period of time. They had Treetop, Lank, things of that nature. But now it tends to be more organized.
When I first came to Trenton, I moved into my community. This whole street, the buildings were boarded up. There was a lot of drug activity, a lot of crime. My house was broken into several times while I was even sitting in the house.
Everybody looks at the unemployment rate throughout the country right now. It's between 6 and 7%. But the African American community, it's almost triple. Our city right now is in a pretty bad state, but it still can be saved.
I'm going to stay here and we're going to move forward because this city has so much potential with its arts, with the history.
If you think about the history of Trenton, George Washington's first victory in the Revolution was a block away.
If you come here with ideas and a little money, you can take this capital city and turn it into a mini metropolis. Trenton had a lot of unity, and I'd like to see it go back to the way it was. Unfortunately, it's all the media focuses on is negativity, but there are positive people doing positive things in Trenton, New Jersey. So how do we change this dynamic? We have to change ourselves first.
My name is Perio Shaw III. I live in Wilbur Section, Trenton, New Jersey. I am the Executive Director of Better Way. Better Way was established in 2006. In all places, it started here in this house. We didn't have a building. We didn't have a location. We had this house. My wife, talked with her, long conversation. I said, babe, there's a need for a program and we don't have a space. Can we utilize this house? And she said, yeah. And so it was nothing to see a Crip going through the front door, blood coming through the back door, and they will understand this house was Switzerland, neutral territory. If you needed help, if you needed services, we provided. But you need to understand that while you're here, you're not going to disrespect this location.
I think A Better Way is a great program for young men and young women. They're looking to improve themselves and improve their life and the environment and the atmosphere in Trenton, New Jersey.
The population I serve is individuals who are coming home from prison, youth who are on their way possibly to prison, but most importantly work with the community at large who need services. A lot of times people hear about A Better Way, think we're just the guys who work with the prisoners. No, it's about the community. If there's a need, we serve it. But the most important thing is rehabilitation. A lot of these guys and women coming home from prison are not being rehabilitated. They're not being provided skills. They're not being provided with chances and opportunities.
Ruben, speaking on behalf of Better Way. I came home from prison in December. I got more than 15 years in the system. I came home, I was gang related, still hot-headed. Even after the fact that I've been stabbed 17 times, I still came home and I attempted to make them decisions. Ever since I got into A Better Way, they basically helped me walk away from gang activity, walk away from negative thinking. I'm constantly on the phone with the coordinators and stuff like that at the program. Any kind of help I need, they're there for me, and I feel as though if there was more programs like this, a lot of people wouldn't be going in and out of jail.
Firstly, the gentleman who spoke, two gentlemen who spoke at the TVRS, they just felt compelled to speak, especially Mr. Carter. He basically spoke about some of the problems and issues he'd been through. That gentleman has been shot, 5 times and stabbed about 17 times.
I can only speak for myself because I've been through a lot. And what I used to do was go to different neighborhoods and do a lot of things I wasn't supposed to be doing, which led me to almost get shot in my face 7 times and getting stabbed up 17 times. So I got a daughter now, so it's like I had to put all that stuff to the side and do some things different, which is why I'm sitting in this group today, so that I can raise my daughter good.
It's not easy for him because when he was out there in gang life, he did make a ton of money, but he understands, you know what? My daughter, my daughter, my daughter, my daughter. That's his north.
My name is Shamika Leary. My occupation is I'm the owner of Imagine Inside Designs, which is an interior design company. I moved from my mom at like 16, so I was out living on my own apartment. I was introduced to it, and I learned how to do it, like far as cook drugs and go get them. I think I did that for like 3 years. Then I got scared. I started like being paranoid. I started thinking people was coming up my fire escape in my sleep. I tried to move on and go another way. I went there to the better way. I faxed all my paperwork to all the tractor trailer companies through their company. It wasn't the same kind of money, but it felt better. Like I didn't have to look over my shoulders. I didn't have to feel like somebody coming to get me. I just need to find myself and figure out what I want to do, and drugs was not it.
She took the start of what we helped her do and made it a successful business. And she's a beacon, a shining light in Trenton to show that not only because she had a record, but because she's a Trentonian doing it. I'm not saying we're a miracle program, but we sit here and we listen to the problems and issues individuals have. They don't get that too many places because of the fact when they walk through the door, they're labeled as a convict, as a felon, as a thief, as a murderer, as a drug dealer, as a drug addict, as a prostitute. When you walk through these doors, there's no label. You're just you. We're not concerned about the mistakes you made in your past. We're concerned about where you are right now and where you want to go to. So success stories, we have a ton of them.
The first thing that needs to happen in any city that's attempting a revitalization is to have a stable government. And that's the problem that Trenton's had for the last 4 years. The government's been, we'll say kindly, less than stable. And a lot of the folks who historically were in Trenton in civil service left it when this mayor came in. And so you were caught in between a lot of incompetence and a lot of instability that would definitely not attract an economic development package from any major developer or any investor. We've seen it. It hasn't happened.
I believe people are ahead of government. We're going to keep on doing the work. Government's going to have to catch up. And when they catch up, we're going to go do another milestone. So we keep on turning around for government to catch up. It is what it is. If they don't, so be it. We're going to keep on doing the work.
My name is Marge Caldwell-Wilson, and I'm a councilwoman for the North Ward of Trenton. And I'm pretty much a city legislator.
It's good to have people who understand in the political realm of what we do.
What they do with the reentry program is amazing because they actually give people coming out of the penal system, they give them hope that they can actually be successful citizens, that they can actually get back to work and get on their own feet and feed their family and get their own place to live, and they don't have to go back to a life of crime.
Tom Clark is the executive director of CityWorks.
Perry Shaw and I of A Better Way have had a significant relationship over the course of the last, I'd say, 5 years.
Anytime anything needs to get done, he calls on our guys and they get paid a good wage.
When we did the houses on Carteret Avenue, I think we totaled 42 of Perry's guys actually worked at certain times on those houses. There was a painting crew, a lot of demolition and hauling crews that worked up there. So we try to do that as much as we can.
We have some great things that are happening in Trenton. We have a tremendous arts type of thing going on with Will Castle and his crew at Sage.
The original meaning of Sage was a serious artist gaining exposure, right? And that's back when we was doing T-shirts, and you know, once the mural collective came, that's when we switched it up to Styles Advancing Graffiti Evolution, because we were using graffiti methods to do community murals. So we were, in my opinion, advancing the art form. You know, it's something used as for years has been looked at something destructive. We're using it to do something productive and constructive.
So it's been really great to be able to show kids that you can take anything and build it into something really different. And the only thing that's stopping you from doing it is yourself. And when you convey that message, you are really meeting the motto, which is the thing that I signed up for back in 2008, reach the world but touch the hood first.
You know, and that's the thing, like you can't rely on just one person to keep things going. You have to step up and do the work. Eventually I won't even be here anymore, you know, but your ideas can, and you never know who's going to take it and run with it. You never know what kid out here just paying attention the same way I was, the same way Kyla was, Wills. Just that kid paying attention, you know. It's like, yeah, I want to do that when I get older. And then you good. If you get to one, you good.
Last week, I know some brothers here were saying about how the youth in our community is kind of untouchable right now. That we can't really work with them, or they don't really want to change.
At men's group, you see some guys crying. You see some guys talking. You see some guys yelling, but they're getting it out. We tell the guys, when you come, get naked. Leave all your problems and issues here. So when you go home, they're not with you.
We all got our problems and issues and struggles we go through every single day. But the problem is, you know what we do? We chunk. We suppress. We push it down. And then it comes out when we play them things. It comes out at the wrong period of time. You may be mad about one thing, but you're taking it out on something else. So I'm going to continue to be supportive to every single last one of you brothers in this room, so we all can be that success story. Every single last one of us.
Wisdom was made for the elders, and war was for the youth. This youth right now has got to make a war on these things that have, one, controlled them for so long, because when you see it in the video that they getting this kind of money doing this harm to their people, that should make you think, how long do I want to kill my people?
I'm only 24. I started selling drugs at 13. I had my daughter at 17. Till she was 3, I was still doing it. I sold drugs to my father, my aunts, whoever had the money, they can get it. I started noticing that my friends was telling on me or telling on somebody else in the streets, or getting robbed or getting shot at. And I had to think about it. Do I want my daughter to grow up with a father behind bars like I did, or a father out in the streets never home, or a father that's in the ground? So it starts with patience. You got to be patient enough to work hard for what you want, and not just expect it to be handed to you.
And as far as our women, it's something similar but more, because in our community we have a lot of single mothers, and they have even more of a weight on their shoulders, and so they're dealing with a lot. They're dealing with a lot of stress. A lot of our women are really going through PTSD. A lot of them are. They're going through this because they're raising their kids by themselves. They're seeing violence every single day. They don't know which way is up sometimes. So we want to provide a type of compass, a guide for them. That's why we do the men's group and the women's group. We want to make cleaning fun. We want to make people understand that, you know what, in order to have a safer city, you gotta have a clean city. They go hand in hand. Because if you go to a location and you see it's dirty, it's trashy, you're gonna be able to feel like, you know what, maybe I can do bad things here. But if you go to a location that's clean, if you go to a place like Princeton, West Windsor, certain places in Hamilton, and you see cleanliness going on, you're not gonna wanna commit a crime, because you're gonna think, well, this place is clean, that means everybody's watching me. And that's what we want people to understand in the city of Trenton. Let's keep our city clean, let's keep our city safe. And so being a part of Unliterous and having it of a part of a better way is important. That's why when we were able to have Unliterous at a Better Way's location, we jumped at the chance because we were already keeping the city clean. When I have that here, Unliterous Trenton at a Better Way. We want to instill in our kids at a young age to give back is to be of service. To be of service to your community is even better. And we want to instill in them and show them, don't do it because it's a requirement of school. Don't do it because the church asked you to do it. Do it because it's in your heart.
The possibility for a place like Trenton, with the river, with the transportation, and with another coming good government, could very well blossom.
Yeah. So that's my goal, is just to keep doing it. As many places as I can, reach the world, touch the hood first. I want to travel the world. I want to see shit that I ain't never seen before. Yeah. And then bring everything I learned new back home. Yeah. And that should be every artist's duty. Travel, live your life, but don't forget where you came from.
Y'all remember that poem I read to y'all?
Yes.
I want everybody to close their eyes, open up their ears, and hear this poem for a second time. Same poem by the 8th grader. Unless we turn things around, that might be true. People thought we couldn't come back, but we knew that was a joke. Working hard, we know we handled our problems. Giving up is something we never did. Changing our world for the better will not be easy, but we will try. Forgetting about that time is a dumb thing to do. Being loving, respectful, and kind is the way to go. Living only for money and power is a waste. And we know we actually succeeded. Thinking that our generation was a failure, that is wrong. The truth is, we were the peak of mankind. Never will anybody say our generation will be known for nothing.
Yeah.
I believe in this generation. I know there's going to be a better location, a better home for Trenton in the next 10 years. I know that to be. I believe that in my heart. I don't hope for it. I don't think it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. Because when I see these kids every single day, what they have to offer, when I look at my daughter's face, when I look at my son's face, I know it's going to be a better Trenton. I do believe that. And I'm not going to say I'm going to wait for the politicians once again, because it's not going to be about them. It's going to be about the people sparking something and believing in something. And I believe each person is going to play a part. And I know the arts is going to take off. I know there's going to be a lot of different things that are going to happen in the city of Trenton. There's going to be a no holds bar. There's going to be people coming back to Trenton who left Trenton because of fear of gun violence, because of fear of gang violence, because of fear of their property taxes going up. You're going to see Trenton be that mecca once again. Education is going to be here in Trenton. We already have the College of New Jersey in downtown Trenton. You're going to see Rider wanting to be here, Rutgers. You're going to see those places, those colleges, those universities want to be more involved. They're going to want to be engaged because Trenton is going to be even better than it was 50, 60 years ago. It's going to be better. It's going to be that slogan, what Trenton makes, the world takes. And what we're going to make is leaders in Trenton.